Hello and welcome to Abimbola Talks. Well, this is our second week and I thank you all for acknowledging my video and thank you for all the words of encouragement. Thank you so much for your support. Actually, the feedback has really, overwhelming, and I thank you for encouraging me to, to continue on this show. So welcome again to the second week of Abimbola Talks. So this week we are going to talk about, definitely we are going to have disagreements in our marriage, especially the newly wedded. What if, I have an argument with my husband, or I have an argument with my husband, which is definitely going to happen. Who do I call? So this week, I'm going to let you guys know that just, when we get married, we get a lot of advices. Definitely let your husband be your best friend. Don't say anything out. But let me tell you, this is going to go against mental health. Do not load all those things on your mind. Don't say they already told me. Don't call your parents. Don't call your friends. Don't call anybody. You can't trust anybody. And that is why many women go into, mental breakdown. And same thing with men. That's why they go on, they break down, because there is so much that you can, put in your mind when you are still going, you are still in the process of doing so many things. So what I'm going to tell you today is that always have a 911. By 911, I mean somebody that you can call, that your husband reverence so much, that your wife respects so much, that if you tell your wife or your husband that I'm going to tell so person, your husband will say, hold on, honey, let us settle it. And if eventually you need a word of advice and you end up telling that person, calling that person, the person will be in the best place that's not going to take sides, will be in the best place to give you the best of advice. Most probably, the person have gone through what you are going through before. And the person, it will be older than you, or might even be your friend that can trust and can give you the best word of advice. But most probably, the one that I do like is one that is older than you, than the couple, that can give you a word of advice. When I was new in my marriage, my husband, we didn't actually date that long before we got married. So by the time I came here to join my husband, he was already used to his independent life, and which is the usual case in many of our stories of spouses that came, women that came to meet their spouse here, or husbands that came to meet their spouse here. They're already, used to their independent life. So for you now coming, they have to get used to it. So there is no way that there will be little arguments here and there. When you come, the utility bills go up, or she or he is not used to seeing you around every day. The boyfriend or girlfriend that he or she had before, it was just, coming on weekends, and if you want to go out, all those things, little things. But by the time you get married, this is for stay. This is forever, So now you have to learn how to live with each other. So definitely you're going to have some arguments. So who you have to call is now what I term 911. So when I came newly, I had a very, a very special woman of blessed memory, Mrs. Akombe, that I was able to go to at that time. And she was my 911. She was also my husband 911. She's the one that I would tell my husband, you know what, I will call mommy and I will tell him what you did. Mind you, I had a brother here. I did not tell my brother. Why I did not tell him was because when you tell your family member whatever problem that you're having with your family, you will settle. Those people will not settle with your husband or your wife, because they have your interests at heart. They are your family. By the time you guys are having jolly, husband and wife thing, they still have that in mind that, oh, this is what she did to my sister, this is what she did to my daughter, or, or this is what she did to my brother, stuff like that. So preferably not a family member. And some, they use their pastor as a 911. But let me tell you, please do not overwhelm all these men of God. You don't have to tell your imam or your alfa or your pastor, because they have their own family that many people are calling them because they see them as the spiritual father. If it's something about prayer, yes, you can call him. Let's leave them out of this. They have their own family to deal with. They have their own relationship to oversee. So leave only the spiritual part of this to them. Don't get them overwhelmed, but definitely have someone that your spouses respect so much, so that you can call and they will, settle the discord. But, like at that time, Sister Akombe, she was very, she was not partial, when I tell her my own side of the story, she will ask me, what did I do? And when my husband tell him the part, his own side of the story, she would tell him, what did you do? What happened? At the end of the day, she will call both of us together and say, this is how you deal with it. This is how you deal with it. And that was how we were able to keep on for the first 10 years of our marriage. She helped me a lot to build my home. And every time anything happens, I always remember that she told me. This is not, to castigate or embarrass anyone, but that person has to be a trusted, person that will talk to your husband, and your husband will accept and will understand, and you pray together, and that's it. Definitely another thing is going to come up again, but always have a 911. Mr. Akombe told me that when somebody trust you and tell you a secret or tell you whatever is bothering her, there are 3 types of secret. The number 1 secret is the one, you ask for the person's permission. Is it okay for me to, when somebody asks me, can I share your name? Maybe a testimony. You say, okay, go ahead and do it. Then number 2 is the one, another one that's you can share that person in order to advise somebody. And number 3 is a secret that you die with. Let your husband be your best friend, but have a 911. Thank you for listening again for this week. Welcome to Abimbola Talks. See you next week. You know what? If you have any question, send me messages on Facebook, Abimbola Badimosi Olare, or you can send me messages on Instagram, Sese Bimbo, or my phone number is on my Facebook. You can feel free to call me. Let's talk about it, and God will uphold our homes. Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye.